didn't learn Italian for travel or for school or to move to Italy someday. I learned it so I could talk to my dad, like really talk to him. Those moments when my entire family would have reunions and dinners and host us in Italy, I couldn't say anything. I couldn't express myself. I couldn't say thank you in the way that I really wanted to. It felt horrible. I didn't belong in my own family. And the worst part is that I can never get those moments with my dad and my family back. But it was in that moment that I knew that I couldn't live the rest of my life not knowing Italian. I needed to know who my family was. I'm Maria. Learning Italian from scratch, especially coming from only knowing English, is an insanely hard task. But I had a real passion for it. I had a purpose for it. It's my blood, it's my heritage, and I needed to be able to get to know my family in Italy. And now I have a relationship with my father I couldn't even imagine. So this video is a little different than all of the lessons that I usually give, but in this video I'm going to teach you exactly how I learned Italian so that I could speak with my dad and my family over in Italy. I've helped hundreds of people with Italian heritage go from feeling left out in their family or in Italy with the locals to finally being confident enough and having enough conversation skills to really speak and bond with the locals and family in Italy. If you are sick of feeling left out of Italian conversations, just like how I felt all that time ago, then click the link in the description for my free Italian lesson. In that lesson, I go way in depth, way more than YouTube, on how to really connect with somebody in Italian. We go through pronunciation, grammar, dialogue, and how to start that connection. Click the link in the description below to grab it. So how did I do it? The first thing I knew I needed to do was to start small. Easier said than done. I needed to focus on the phrases that actually mattered to my life. And this is my entire teaching philosophy because it's what gets me to connect with the people around me. Don't go too crazy with grammar at the start. Don't go too crazy with random vocabulary lists or apps that only teach you vocabulary. If you know, you know. Focus on things that start a connection with somebody. Like something very simple. Come stai? Come stai? How are you? Come stai? Hai mangiato? Did you eat? Hai mangiato? Hai mangiato? Italians know. If you care about somebody, you want to know if they ate or not. Another phrase that I would ask my dad is mi racconti la tua giornata? Can you tell me about your day? Can you summarize your day for me? Mi racconti la tua giornata? These are very simple phrases that got me into a connection with my dad and with my family. And they would love to tell me about their day and what they ate earlier. And they would ask me if I ate, of course. Next, I practiced in context. I practiced in real life situations. Even if I stumbled, even if I made a mistake, I knew I was going to make a mistake, but I knew also that I would progress from it and I probably wouldn't make that mistake again. And my dad, my family, they're the last people to care if I make a mistake. They know that I'm there to try to speak to them, to make a connection with them. I would ask my dad things little, like about his day, or what he ate earlier, or what he has planned for next week. And my favorite, I would ask about stories from his past, about what it's like to grow up in Italy. But most importantly, I wasn't afraid. That's the biggest bottleneck that keeps us stuck, is we're afraid. Because it's scary, I get it, but you have to do it. With my dad and my family, I wasn't afraid to pause and think mid-sentence, or say something, blurt it out, and then correct it. My family did that too. They knew I was learning. My dad was so beyond proud to know that I was learning his language. So the learning process, as hard as it is, it's not really a problem when it comes to family or friends that care about you, that know that you're learning. Having that safe space to learn is something I focus on so much because it's really what made me confident in my ability to speak and now teach hundreds of people to learn Italian. It's crazy. It's something I really focus on inside the Italian Toolkit program, that safe learning environment so that you can make a mistake and then learn from it. And don't be afraid to challenge it. I would say the most important strategy that I had in learning Italian to be able to talk with my dad and my family was to focus on the connection with them rather than perfection. I didn't really want to show off to my dad how great my Italian was because, to be quite honest, his Italian wasn't perfect either. And in the same way with English, I don't think anyone's English is absolutely nitpicky perfect. And if it is, then good for you. But no one really talks that way. What mattered to me was actually being able to ask my dad about my family in Italy, or ask about his day or his life. What was it like? What was the food like? What was your house like? Here's the key here. Your dad or your family or your friends, whoever you're speaking to in Italian, if they really care about you as a person, then they're not going to care if you make a mistake. They're only going to care that you tried. Seriously. It means so much more to them that you're learning the language to try to talk to them rather than show off your perfect grammar or whatever for a sentence or two. I can't imagine my life not being able to speak with my dad or my family in Italy. They have made my life better in almost every single way. I have so much support now, and let me tell you, mistakes are the last thing they care about. Seriously. Another really big strategy that helped me succeed in being able to learn Italian for the purpose of connection is to make it a daily habit. Be consistent with it. I beg you, be consistent with it. Even 5 minutes a day matters. It doesn't have to be reading a textbook. Please don't read a textbook. I don't recommend that. It could be looking at a phrase book. It could be watching Italian TV. It could be listening to the radio or a podcast or this YouTube video or any of my YouTube videos. I have a whole library of lessons to learn Italian and tips and strategies on how to do it coming from English. Point in case, keep it consistent. Even a little bit of Italian every single day makes really good progress, even if you don't realize it. If you ever felt really left out in Italy or with your Italian family, comment below. I know I'm not the only one out there. There's 2,000 of us on this channel, which is crazy. So I know there's a lot of us out there who are experiencing the same thing. If you have family connections in Italy, or you're just dying to learn Italian to be able to really connect with somebody and bond with them, click the link in the description for my free Italian lesson. It is so in-depth on actually being able to start a conversation with somebody. And we go through a little bit of grammar, we do pronunciation, but I promise you, after 60 minutes of watching it, you will feel way more confident about entering an Italian conversation. If you resonated with this kind of different video, then please click the like button, comment, make sure you're subscribed, and click the little notification bell so you don't miss out when I post a new video or lesson every single week. If you want to hear more about my story and strategies to learn, then you can watch this video right here. I also go really in depth in that free lesson, link in description. Ci vediamo, ciao!